Hey everyone, Tanner Bell here and welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to screen print using vinyl. This is a task that I bet a lot of you think is very daunting, but I actually in today's video want to share with you how easy it is to actually screen print using your Cricut. And one of the main reasons why we think here at Maker's Gonna Learn it's best to screen print is when you are doing repetitive projects. So for example, if you have a very large shirt order or anything like that, it may be actually easier to create a screen and just really quickly screen print all of those shirts rather than cutting out the vinyl, weeding it, and things like that. And again, screen printing is ink. So it is a heat set paint that is going to be on your material and may last longer than heat transfer vinyl, and it works with cotton. So it's another alternative to using sublimation. And again, it's just another great technique to have in your back pocket for the perfect project. So if you're ready to jump into it, let's go ahead and talk about our supplies. But first, I want to encourage all of you to like the video. If you are excited to learn more about this project, go ahead and like the video. Do not miss out and hit the subscribe button if you're brand new to the Maker's Gonna Learn channel. If you need access to thousands of cut files, hundreds of fonts, and training to help you master your Cricut machine, because let's face it, Cricut YouTube videos may not always cut it, definitely check out our membership linked right down below. We even have a special coupon code for you to try. So definitely check that out and let's go ahead and jump right in to what you need. As you see on the table, there's quite a few supplies. Don't let this overwhelm you because believe it or not, most of these supplies an average Cricut user will have. Now there's a few supplies I'll let you know that you'll definitely want to pick up on your next shopping trip to the craft store. So let's go ahead and take a deeper look. First things first is your actual screen. Now a quick tip here is to get just a large screen because we feel like even though like today we're making a baby onesie, we would rather have one large screen on hand rather than having 3 or 4 various size screens, because you can definitely screen print anything smaller than this right here. So this right here is a $19.99 screen print, and this is a 10 by 14 screen. So some people make their own. I'm recommending today you just pick one up at the craft store. Next up is our screen printing ink. We are using a white screen printing ink by Speedball. And again, white is a great alternative to sublimation because believe it or not, my friends, you can't really sublimate white. So this is another pro of screen printing rather than sublimation. Today we're using a 9-inch squeegee by Speedball. Now if you're wanting the absolute best results while you're screen printing, be sure to make sure to have a squeegee that is larger than your image. So today we would want to make sure that our image is no larger than 9 inches. I would at least say about 8.5 inches just for safety on each side. Now that's for the best results. Your results may vary if say you're doing something 18 inches and you only have a 9-inch squeegee. For the best results, make sure that that squeegee is larger than your design, especially if you're just getting started. Next up, you're going to need the transfer tape that is least tacky in your craft supplies. Today, we're using the masking paper transfer tape that I use and have linked down below, so definitely check that out, and you'll just need some vinyl. We're also working with painter's tape today, so I would like using this thicker painter's tape, which is perfect for all your projects. We're also going to have to heat set our ink after it dries. So we have an EasyPress on hand. And in addition to that, we have this awesome heat gun to speed up that drying process. The 2 last things that we need are our onesies that we are going to screen print today for today's project. You'll also need a piece of parchment paper, a Teflon sheet, or butcher's paper for this process when you're heat setting your ink after you have screen printed and it's dried. So we're using parchment paper today. And my friends, that's everything. So let's head over to Cricut Design Space to get our design ready to go and start the screen printing process. All right, my friends. So today we're working with a homegrown cut file from Maker's Gonna Learn that is actually 2 colors. So this is the cut file after you import it from the Maker's Gonna Learn website. Our website has tons and tons of cut files. As you can see right here, so many categories, so many fun projects that you're able to make, whether you're looking for print and cut projects, Christmas projects, whatever you need, there are cut files for you as soon as you get started at makersgonnalearn.com. And the best part is, after you upload your cut file once to your Design Space account, it's there forever. So you can always find it under the uploads. What I love about Maker's Gonna Learn cut files is that they're already set up and good to go for our projects. So this is a 2-color design. Now with screen printing, we only need 1 layer for today's project. So what we're going to do is just select this and press weld. That is just allowing our homegrown to be 1 layer. Now, one thing I want you to notice is we've already sized it. So today's size is 4 inches wide with a height of right under 3 inches. So what we're going to do is create a rectangle that is larger than that. So today's size is 7 by 5. So when we take this, you can see it fits in here very well with excess around here. And this is representing our vinyl. So the black square is representing our vinyl. And how we're going to be able to achieve that is actually slicing out homegrown and the square. So what we're going to do is we're going to select both of these layers. Once you've selected both of these layers, all we need to do is click slice at the bottom right-hand corner. I want to remind you guys you can only slice out 2 layers at a time. That is why we welded our homegrown and our vegetables before getting ready to slice this. So now we can simply press slice. You're going to see you now have 3 layers. So I'm going to drag this one over to the left side, and now we can delete out these 2 layers right here and press delete. So now we have our stencil ready to go and screen print, but it doesn't stop here. Let's go ahead and press make it. We're going to cut today on the mat. Notice that we've went ahead and it is now on the mat. And what I want to recommend for you guys to do is just kind of move this over so you have a little bit more space for your project today. So I've moved that over, and now I'm going to click mirror. Now, even though we're cutting just regular vinyl, you want to make sure to mirror this layer. You want to make sure this mat is mirrored because when you're screen printing, you are applying it backwards. So when you officially get ready to screen print, you'll be able to read it perfectly. So if you're confused about what this looks like, have no fear. Just if you're taking notes today, go ahead, mirror your vinyl when screen printing. Mirror your vinyl when screen printing. If you're ready to move forward, you can go ahead and press continue, and it will allow you to cut this out just like you would any other design. All right, my friends, so I've opened up my screen, and as you can see, right here is how we're actually going to lay it down. So where the screen is touching the surface, this is the proper way to hold your screen. So how we apply our vinyl is actually flipping it over around to the back, and we'll be able to position it. So what we need to do now is take a look at our decal. This is what it looks like after you have cut and have it all ready to go. Remember, we are using transfer tape for this process. So now we'll be able to grab our transfer tape, peel back some transfer tape. So as you can see, we have our transfer tape, and before we get ready to transfer it, I just want to remind you guys that this does not need to be sticky at all. So I'm going to stick it to my shirt right like so and peel it back, and then I'm going to stick it once more to my shirt and peel it back. This removes a little bit of the sticky tack because when you get your screen and we apply it here, you're going to notice it does not want to stick very well. So you do not need sticky transfer tape whatsoever. So now that we have been able to do this, you're going to flip it around, and peel this back. Okay, so now that we have this right here, we are going to peel this up and we're going to bring in our screen. And it's backwards, so just be careful with me. We're going to position this down and we're going to apply it onto our screen. I like to put my hand on the back and just kind of apply pressure, just like so, around the entire design. Okay, and then as you can see, you can start trying to peel it back. But do not be surprised if it does not want to stay down. That is totally normal. Be careful with any small pieces as they will want to come up, but just stay very careful and go slow. Ta-da! Now we've been able to get that nice and ready. Now that you have your design, we are ready to set up our shirt for screen printing. All right, so we have our shirt. Now we're going to take our screen and we're going to position it. So I want to position it right about here. So I'm giving some space down from where our collar is. I'm actually gonna move it up just a hair. And then you can position it and you can start feeling around at how that looks. You can kind of level it up. The screen will make you feel a little limited. So don't worry about your first time doing this when you're deciding like how big of a box do you want to have and things like that. No pressure there. Definitely give yourself some grace with your first screen printing project. Once you're happy with where you have applied your design, you want to make sure you leave it there. Now is the time to get out your painter's tape, and we are going to apply painter's tape around all of this extra area so that we make sure there's only ink where we want it to go today. So I'm applying it here. All right, so I've been able to tape this around, and I did not feel like it was necessary to tape everything because what we're doing is we're just gonna take that squeegee and the actual contact piece only goes to right about here. So notice I made sure there was plenty of area where it would not affect the rest of our shirt. That's the process you wanna be very careful about. So now what we're going to do is we're gonna take our ink, and this is our paint. I'm gonna open it up here. And what I like to do is take one of these, and we're going to take the popsicle stick and we're just going to take it and kind of apply it right around here. And you want a nice layer to go all the way over, just like so. All right, so notice I've given just a generous amount of screen printing paint right here up at the top. Now there's quite a bit there. I don't know how well you can tell, but there is quite a bit. Now this next process is where you make or break. I'm using pressure, applying it down because it's all about making sure that you're able to get contact to your project. So what we're going to do is make sure we apply pressure down, and we're also having to squeegee with nice contact as well. So we want to make sure that we have this all ready to go. And now we're going to take it and just pull it down really quick. So let's go ahead and do this together. And stop. And here's what we need to do. We need to pull up. And as you can see, you want to have your paper towel ready. You want to have some piece of something ready to go clean this off. Or if you're reusing it, you just don't want to let this get on your fabric. So I'm going to set this to the side. And now is for the big reveal. We're just going to peel this up. And as you can see, we've been able to screen print together. How easy was that? I love it. And the best part about screen printing, my friends, is it's repetitive. So now we can go ahead and set up our next project. So my best tip here is, since we have, already set this one up and it's ready to go for onesies, we've grabbed a second one. And what we're going to do is make sure that we position it properly. All right, my friends, now if you're able to commit your positioning for this screen that already has ink on it, that's awesome. But if you feel like you cannot commit to one press down onto your onesie or shirt, I would recommend washing this in between of your shirts. But again, we want to set this up for repetitive and quality and quantity, right? So that's what we're going to do. And I like to use the little line right here. And I just kind of position this here. And then once you're ready, you can sit it down onto your design and just repeat the same process. So I made sure to know exactly where I positioned my collar. So now we're going to add more ink to the bottom, because you see here, there's some extra ink. So what I'm going to do is just apply this extra ink onto the bottom, and we're actually going to squeegee up this time. Now that it's good to go, we're going to grab our squeegee, we're going to hold down, we're going to hold our pressure, just like so. And we're going to take our squeegee, and we're actually going to just go ahead and squeegee right up the top. Now, just like so, if you feel like you need a second squeegee, you're now able to still, with the same pressure, apply it and move the ink right back down. Again, there's a lot of extra ink here, so you can go ahead and put it right back in here into your ink. So notice over here on the side, I'm just taking it and scooping all that extra paint right back in here. And now we're going to be able to wash this off while not wasting any of our paint. All right, so now we're going to peel this up. And as you can see, we have another homegrown onesie. All right, so now the question is, do I want to lightly clean this, or do I want to deep clean it so I have a fresh screen to use a new design? What I would recommend, if you love the design and you have multiple projects to make in that day, lightly clean this. You can try cleaning it with warm water. There's very simple ways to clean it, or you can buy solution and things like that if you want to really get into the screen printing process. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our designs and talk about how you need to finish the process to make sure it's permanent. All right, my friends, so now we have our two designs right here, and what we've got is our Wagner heat gun. This is go heat set it for us if you are in a rush, or you can let this sit for 8 hours just to be able to dry on its own. And we have to make sure that it's dry ink before we can heat set it. So let's go ahead and turn this on low, and we're just gonna use this to heat set this ink and let it dry really quick. All right, after letting your shirts dry, what we're going to do is take one at a time, position it on an EasyPress mat, just like so. We're going to now take the parchment paper, apply it down. What we've done is we've preheated our EasyPress to 320 degrees, and we're going to heat set it for 40 seconds. All right, after it beeps, remove the Cricut EasyPress, and you'll see that you now have your onesie ready to go. One thing I love about this is that now it can be washed. It doesn't feel like HTV, so it feels super soft, and it's going to last a lifetime. So now what I'm going to do is just repeat this process for my other onesie, and we'll be done. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I see all those materials in the beginning, it can feel really overwhelming. I love how these onesies turned out, and I think this will be a really great addition to your cricketing as well because of the lifespan that screen printing has. This ink is super great when you wash it. It's going to last through a ton of wash cycles. And if you're looking to sell your creations and be able to utilize something different than heat transfer vinyl, if it's had issues with you in the past, this is a great alternative, especially if you have very large shirt orders or anything like that. I would feel really confident creating my own screens using the Cricut. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them down below. I'll be in the comments section helping you with any questions you have. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this technique, and I want to see you guys create it. If you're a Makers Gonna Learn member, post your first screen printing creation in the group. I cannot wait to see it. Feel free, if you're a yearly member at Makers Gonna Learn, to utilize any of our cut files, our fonts, with that commercial license to sell what you make. That is super impressive with the thousands of cut files and hundreds of fonts. If you need to become a yearly member today, again, I have a special coupon code for you right down below that will save you quite a bit to get started with our year membership. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more Cricut videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, my friends.